What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video, and we are on the majestic, scenic, gorgeous Chippewa Flowage, and it is a beautiful fall day out here, and we are doing the Chippewa Flowage fall favorite. We are chasing crappies today, and yeah, it's me. We got Shelby behind the camera now. We got Surly, who has not consumed or not used enough energy up today, and he is rambunctious. But we're gonna walk you through kind of fall crappie fishing. And today's video is gonna be all kind of like your fall crappie guide, where to expect these fish in the fall, how to catch them in the fall, and yeah, all sorts of good fall crappie fishing information that's really gonna hold from now probably until the lake freezes up. So stay tuned. We're already hunting some fish and we're already seeing some fish, and let's catch some crappies. Oh, fish on! Way out there with the jig. Shelby's kind of working the first pod we marked, and I'm just kind of pitching around. Oh no, we got off right the boat. Got him?
Hooked up, finally on the board.
How's he feel? Shelby's first one.
Oh, it's not too bad.
We are on the stack of fish now.
Yes, we are. Are we doing a fish fry?
You want to?
I do. Fish tacos.
All right.
He's nice.
Keep a few for tacos.
Okay.
Good work.
Watch out, Surly.
Don't have to let him do it. Oh, here's one. Right away. Hooked up. Fish on. Might be a bluegill. I don't know. What do we have, Surly? What do we have? Oh, we got a nice crappie on here. He's a dinner crappie for sure. Pitching that little jig around thing, just barely touched bottom, or was getting close to bottom, and boom. Nice little dinner crappie there. We're throwing him in the box because it's hot action right on the school. All right, presentation. You guys are always asking about presentation, so we're always filming the presentation. What are we using? Basically, we're using two presentations today. Shelby is using the tried and true slip bobber and just a real light 16th, actually a 32nd ounce jig with the Kalins crappie scrub on there. It is just an all-time classic. This thing catches crappies no matter where you go. I kind of love this translucent color. It's got these two tails on there that are constantly kicking around when you're pulling it around. But basically on the slip bobber, basically what we're doing is running like a 2.5, 3 foot lead, and then a little sliding weight in there that looks something like that. Can it see it, Shelby?
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, swivel, sliding weight, bobber. When you're running bobbers, always get one with a brass grommet like one of these stills. Bobber bead, bobber stop, right? And what Shelby's doing is she's kind of, you know, we're marking a pot of fish and she's pitching it out there right into the fish, right? And once that thing gets down there, and that's why kind of you want to add that weight so it gets down there quick, and it's already down there, right? It's already down there 17 feet of water. So it doesn't take this real long process for everything to get down there if you don't have a weight on that slip bobber, in addition to just the jig head. And once it's down there, she'll let it sit there for about 10 seconds and just kind of pop it around, pull it a little bit closer, and then again let that bobber kind of straighten out. And most of the time what'll happen is you'll kind of pull it, get that thing bouncing, those kind of legs will be kicking, it'll kind of come to a rest right where the bobber stands up, and that's a lot of times when the bobber goes right down. So that's one presentation we're using. She's fishing that on a 7.5 foot light action rod, and super fun fishing all these fish on a light rod. Obviously with the slip bobber, what you're doing is you're setting the depth. So if we're in 17 and the fish are 16, 15 down, we're setting like 14 or 13 feet down with that slip bobber knot, right? And then the presentation that I am using is a 7 foot light action rod by Elliott. Super fun rod, and I'm just using a little ice fishing jig and then a crappie scrub on there too. And basically that's all I'm using on this. And this is kind of presentation specific. You want to be running like 4-pound braid, something real light, and then like a 4-pound leader. And all I'm doing, this is a tungsten jig, which is really important because tungsten's gonna be way denser than lead and it sinks much quicker, right? If you're trying to do this with lead, it's just so slow and it takes so long and your line's gonna be so wispy in the wind. But it's really pretty simple. So what I'm doing is I'm casting out, letting it go all the way down to the bottom, waiting until my line slacks up. And all I'm doing is just kind of a slow pull up like this. Then I just kind of hold my rod high and watch till it slacks out. And most of the time when one bites, it's gonna be just like a walleye. You're gonna feel that thing go think. It's just gonna be, you know, a little bit softer because it's a crappie. So these are kind of the two presentations we're doing. This one's a little bit better at covering water. Obviously it's a little bit more labor intensive as far as making sure, you know, you're on bottom and you're hitting bottom and that thing's close. Now if these fish are like halfway down, you'd be counting this down. But since these fish that we're fishing for are relating to a lot of these submerged points, we're just kind of letting it hit bottom, picking it up a couple feet like that, and just holding that rod, easing it down slow, and waiting for that line to go pop. So those are the two presentations for fishing. It's really pretty much that simple for fall. Load up on a whole bunch of these 1 3/4 crappie scrubs, some jigs, some slip bobbers, and you guys will be good to go.
What? Me?
Oh, fish on!
I was not paying attention.
Oh, nice crappie.
Nice crappie. It's a little crappie out here on the Chippewa Flowage. This is first fall outing for crappies, and I am enjoying myself.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I like that sound. Nice. Oh,
Dude,
God, get him in. He's fat. Watch out, Surly. You don't get this one. Look at that one.
That's a good one, baby. Good work.
He's a keeper.
A nice fryer. Hold him up again. How much do you like crappie fishing?
I love crappie fishing, but do you want to know what I like more?
What,
Fish tacos. Got one.
Oh, right there. Back up, back up.
Oh, it sounds like a nice one.
What do you
Is
have?
it a bluegill?
Oh, it's a big old crappie.
Oh, God. Get it in here.
Ed, watch that bobber, Shelby. It's a nice one. Dinner
Yeah.
fish.
Dinner.
Talk to the camera. Give her a little spiel.
Dinner fish, like Tom said, I'm using a bobber and a jig with, what's the plastic?
Kalins crappie scrub.
Kalins crappie scrub.
All right, so when we're looking for a lot of these big points that stretch out into the basin or into river channel, these deeper humps, deeper pieces of structure, a lot of times your deeper pieces of structure are not mapped as well as some of your shallower pieces of structure. And one thing you find a lot, which is a huge help, especially once the lake's frozen and we're out on the ice, is having the best mapping possible. So one thing I'm always doing when I'm out here doing a lot of this late fall fishing, whether that's for walleyes or crappies or really whatever it is on a lot of this deep structure, is I am also auto charting. If you're not familiar with what auto chart is, it's a feature through Humminbird where you can basically map the basin or you can map the lake. You can create your own map. So what I'm going to show you right now is kind of where we're seeing a lot of fish. Right here. So you can see this point comes out a little ways, right? And it kind of flattens out right here and dumps from like 17 deep. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go menu, I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna turn my auto chart, I'm gonna click that, I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna go record. So this is gonna start doing, it's gonna start recording depth as I'm plotting here, right? And what you're gonna see very quick is that the map is incorrect and this point comes out a lot farther than it shows. So it's mapping right now, and we're in 20 feet, so it's not really mapping a contour line yet, but as we start coming up on this point, what you're gonna see is it's gonna start filling in the depth ranges that's not mapped. And I'll kind of show you here. And this is just, like I said, it's a huge help when you're like ice fishing, or a lot of times if you want to come back to the spot, it gives you a great idea of what this spot actually looks like. So you can see as we're coming up on it now, it's changing the depth. So even though it says we're in 22 feet, it says 15 feet right here is the actual depth we're in, right? So you can see I'm plotting across it. Now we're in 14 feet, 15 feet. Now we're dropping off the edge. So you can see this is probably kind of close to the tip of this point, but I don't quite have it filled in all the way yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back around. Now that I'm out in deep water in 19, 20 feet, and I'm just gonna crisscross this a little bit closer to the tip. Like you can see I'm doing now. So I'm coming just a little bit farther outside towards basin than where I was the first pass. And we'll kind of find out right where this tip is and exactly how it's set up. I kind of drove around for a little bit and mapped this out. It probably took 5 minutes to drive around and just kind of map this little point out quick. And here's the before shot, you can see what it looks like, and here's the after shot. So you can obviously see there's a whole bunch of difference. This point extends much farther than we know. So if it's a spot where you're gonna come back and fish, or a spot where you might come back in the winter, definitely worth auto charting and looking at that stuff and getting a very detailed map of it. It pays huge dividends in the big run or in the long run. Really, no matter whether you're trying to establish a pattern or whether you're just trying to fish more efficiently. So keep that little tool in mind. It pretty much comes standard on most hummingbirds, or if not all hummingbirds, I think. Super cool feature and incredibly effective. Fish on, not a big one. Way out there. Just choking. A little crappie scrub. Too much fun. Surly likes crappie fishing too. Surly likes to lick the crappies. Yeah. Just a little guy though, we'll let him go. Just got one on. We are hooked up. What do you got, Shelby? Oh,
nice one. Get him
nice
in.
Crappie.
Finally, after that screw up.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna include it in the video, but Shelby ping-ponged one off the side of the boat, like.
And it was nice.
That was a nice one.
We're gonna keep this one, and we're gonna keep one more, and then that's it for the fish fry. It's been great out. It's starting to feel like fall. I love it.
Pumpkin spice.
All the pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh, hooked up. Fish on. Seems like a nice one. What is it? Ooh, nice crappie.
Get them in.
Nice crappie.
It's a great day out here, catching them left and right. I'm having a lot of fun. Tom's having a lot of fun, and Surly's enjoying himself.
Surly, are you enjoying it? Surly.
Even though he's being annoying.
Are you enjoying it, Surly? What do you think?
Is this a keeper? Are we gonna keep this one? How many do we have?
These are final keeper.
Final keeper, okay.
Oh, box full of
Look
crappies. Good work, baby.
Can't wait.
Eating good. Sit down, you're just wandering, Surly. Sit down.
Sit. And you stay. Now Dad has to redo this.
All right, so where are we finding these fish, right? That's the important part, because you're not gonna catch any crappies if you're not fishing around crappies, even with the right presentation, obviously. Crappies are not incredibly difficult to catch, but it's getting around them that is the tougher part. And this time of year, into the fall, we're kind of in the early stages of it now. We have water temps that are 60 degrees. In some of these lakes in northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota. And what generally happens in the fall is you have fish start to migrate towards their wintering locations, right? And a lot of times these are the deeper basins of these lakes, or these isolated like 30, 40 foot pockets in a lot of these lakes. Or if you're in a flowage system, more of like a river channel that runs through the lake in the deeper portions, right? So what we're looking for is pieces of structure that extend into this deep water. Very, you know, kind of sharp breaking stuff that comes off a little bit shallower water close to this deep stuff. So a lot of times what you can do is I'll kind of take a screenshot of my graph, and what you're gonna see is basically, you know, a whole bunch of deep water and then some shallower water, right? Well, really what I want to focus on a lot of these lakes that have a lot of this basin that's like 30 plus is basically structure in that, or I'd say probably about 20 to 30 foot range that kind of plateaus before it falls into that real deep stuff. So I'll kind of throw up another screenshot. So like right here, for example, and what we're looking at right here is kind of some points that fall into this basin where there's like a lot of 40 plus foot of water, right? This is the perfect kind of stuff where crappies are gonna hold on these points, and progressively as it gets colder and colder, and eventually until it ices up, these fish will kind of relate more and more to that deep water, and eventually, probably right before ice up, what they're gonna do is they're gonna end up suspended over that deep water. So this is the same thing that goes on in a lot of systems. The specifics might vary. You know, if your lake only gets 20 feet deep, you might be looking at points that are like 15 feet deep that drop into 20 feet and things like that. But these fish definitely stage up close to a lot of these wintering spots, and really fall is a phenomenal time to fish crappies, because you just have, as fall goes on, more and more and more and more fish kind of converging on this same area. And then obviously once the lakes freeze up, we'll be out there catching them through the ice. But fall's a phenomenal time to fish because you can take advantage of a lot of the spots where these fish are moving to and really grouping up before winter. All right, guys, well, that is gonna do it for this little short evening crappie video. Shelpster, stand up so you can be in this outro. We're filming it right now. What do you have to say?
Successful day, and all I can think about is fish tacos now.
All I can think about is musky fishing, because it was a rush to finish the crappie video. I was incredibly stressed so that we could get to musky fishing for like the remaining 2 hours of the day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. Hopefully these tips are helpful for you guys. Fall's a phenomenal time to fish. You guys know I love fall. Hopefully you guys like fall fishing. Fish group up in a lot of predictable areas, and if you can get on them, you can definitely catch them. Right, Shelby?
Right.
Is that the end?
Oh, is it?
Are we signing out?
Yeah.
Give me another one. No, you gotta say this. You gotta say the stuff.
Oh wait.
Though.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. What else? Oh, check out Tom's t-shirts. He's not gonna plug it, but I'm gonna plug it.